Would you like to learn how to make some super yummy homemade chicken stock? Just like this? Well, in this episode of the Lisa D's Delight Show, I'm going to show you how to make the most flavorful homemade chicken stock. We're going to use some chicken bones, some herbs, and veggies. You make your homemade chicken stock like this, is guaranteed to be simply amazing.
Lisa D Delight.
LDD family, you hungry? Let's please some palates. Here are a few of the things that you will need for this recipe, but as usual, your exact ingredients and measurements and such will be in the description box below. Homemade stock is a must in my kitchen, especially around the holidays, because a good flavorful stock is the foundation to so many dishes. It makes recipes like cornbread stuffing, mashed potatoes, gravies, and so much more taste so much better. It's not hard to make, and I usually just make a bunch of it and put it in the freezer, child. First, we're gonna start by chopping our mirepoix. Mirepoix is a French term for carrots, onions, and celery. We're also gonna chop some scallions, some flat leaf Italian parsley, some sage, thyme, and rosemary. The trick is you have to chop it in 2.2 seconds like me or it won't be good. What's the difference between stock and broth? I'm glad you asked. Stock is made by simmering bones, but in a broth, you're going to use the actual meat to get the flavoring. I like stocks because by simmering the bones, you get like a richer, deeper flavor and a mouthfeel, making it better at adding body to a dish. But broths take less time to cook and they're slightly less robust in flavor. So when you have leftover bones, any type of bones, just save them, put them in the freezer, especially around the holidays, and then you can make you some good old homemade chicken stock. I saved the carcass and the bones and stuff when I smoked some Cornish hens, as well as some baked chicken I had made. I saved all those bones. Well, some of my bones still have some meat on it, but that's okay. The ham hock is optional. That's my little secret trick to getting a nice smoky flavor in the background, because I enjoy a good smoky flavor. But if you don't, you could just leave it at. I was just trying to help your palate.
Lisa D Delight.
Now with a large pot on medium-high heat, let's add all of the bones, followed by all of the veggies. When choosing the bones for your stock, it's best to use parts of meat or chicken that have a lot of connective tissues, like the rib cages, necks, backs, feet, wings, even a chicken butt, child. A little chicken butt ain't never hurt nobody. The connective tissues and the bones release collagen and protein into the stock, creating a rich, bodyful flavor. You can use the chicken skin as well. Just be sure to not let it emulsify and cook back into the liquid. So we have to be sure to skim off the impurities off the top of the pot. But you don't want to use any organ meat. Organ meat has a lot of blood in it, and that can tend to make the stock too heavy and like give it an irony taste. And we don't want that. Typically, seasoning is not added to stocks, but it's my kitchen, my way. And then when I'm cooking with the stock, I'm just mindful of the seasoning that's already in my stock. Next, you want to add some cold water, enough water to cover up everything. But be sure to use cold water. Warm water has more lead in it than the cold does. I love Better Than Bouillon turkey base. This turkey base right here, it just elevates the flavor profile so wonderfully to all turkey or poultry dishes in general. You add this, you don't even need to add anything else. This right here will make all your poultry dishes off the chain. Yep, I like to add a little bit of Better Than Bouillon turkey base with my adjustable measuring spoon here. It lets you adjust to different measurements as needed. I'll put a link in the description in case you're interested. You're welcome. Now let this come to a boil and then immediately reduce the heat to a low simmer. Pro tip numero uno. Once the stock is simmering, just be sure that it never comes to a violent boil. because that can cause the ingredients to break down and make the stock cloudy. We want a nice clear stock. Pro tip number 2, you want to slightly move the pot off the center of the burner, inching more so to one side of the burner. That way the scum will gather on one side of the pot, making it easier to skim the scum off the top. Pro tip number 3, let this cook uncovered. If you cover the pot, it'll boil too rapidly, causing the bones and stuff to break up, and the fat and the protein will cook back into the stock, making it cloudy. Pro tip number 4. Again, we have to skim off the impurities that we see form at the top of the pot. If you did push the pot to one side of the burner, you should see the scum on one side of the pot. But if you don't see any scum, you can take a ladle and just circle it in the center of the pot like I'm doing here. And that should cause the impurities to go to the outer edges of the pot. And then you could just give them the boot. You're out of here. Try to rinse off the ladle though each time before you go back in to skim some more so that you can keep everything nice and clean and pretty. So let this simmer for about 3 hours, skimming off the scum every 20 minutes or so. And then you just have to strain the stock, and you can keep it in your refrigerator for about a week or so and in your freezer for about 3 months. Just be a little bit more strategic when you're straining than I am. Try drinking less wine when you're cooking, sis. Jeesh. So there you have it. This is my first addition to my holidays recipe series. I'm trying to get all you newbie cooks out there set for the holidays so you can make some banging recipes for your family for Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I got you. This flavorful homemade chicken stock will be your delicious foundation for your mashed potatoes, your cornbread stuffing, your gravy, your macaroni and cheese, and so much more. Here's a little preview of all the bomb.com recipes I have coming your way real soon. Yup, it's going down. Just be sure to click on that delicious picture on the next page so you can check out the next super yummy recipe in our holiday series. And you can thank me later. Happy holidays. God bless you.